Hello YouTube friends, I hope you're doing well, hope you're practicing. This lesson is about a topic that is at the core of my personal guitar playing, and for sure many lead guitarists, maybe many heavy metal guitarists, Spanish guitarists, and classical musicians. This technique is very, very prominent in classical music because it's a really cool technique. It's a way to do something that's not really that hard, but it can make you play really cool stuff. So let's do it. It's basically scale shapes. Now that sounds kind of boring. I'll just quickly play you the kind of thing I'm going to talk about so you've got an idea, and then I'll show you how to do it and variations and so on. Something like that. I've chosen the key of B flat today because it's a very rare key for guitarists to play in, and something that we all have to be really conscious of is not getting too deeply embedded in the E minors and A minors and G majors and whatever other keys you're in all the time. So I like to play in an unusual key sometimes, simply because it's unusual. It gives us a brain, our ears, our fingers a bit of a different vibe. And this guitar is pretty new, so it doesn't have any wear on the fretboard, but on any of my old guitars that I've played for a long time, and on you've probably seen on like some cool Fender Strats and stuff, you'll see where people play all the time, like at the 5th fret or the 12th fret or the open position. You'll see that the fretboard actually gets worn, and it looks kind of cool, and it is actually really cool to show that much dedication's been put into that particular instrument by that player. But the flip side of that is that I'll like to play in spots where my guitar's not so worn for more variety. So today we're in B flat, the 6th fret. I'm using a B flat minor pentatonic scale. 6 9 6 8 6 8 6 8 6 9 6 9. That's very important to know that scale, the minor pentatonic scale. And what I was doing before was going like, so I'm essentially dividing the strings into pairs. You've got like 6 and 5, 5 and 4, 4 and 3, 3 and 2, 2 and 1. So the pairs are always next to each other, which is nice and easy. Although you could, as you develop, you can definitely do patterns where the strings aren't next to each other. And let's take these first two strings, the 6th string and the 5th string. The notes of the scale are 6 9 6 8. So there's 4 notes there. If you play the scale normally, you're just ascending. Da, 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 da. But what I was doing to get a bit more mileage out, a bit of a melodic pattern, I was going. So that's the first note, the second note, the third note, but then I went 4 3 2. I'm right next door to a school and the bell's ringing. Maybe you can hear it, maybe you can't. So there you go. And then on the next note we do this, our next set of strings, we do the same thing. So, and we're staying within the scale pattern. So here it's 6 8 6 8 6 8. Same and that. But then on the G and B strings, because the scale on the B string goes 6 9, we go. And those kind of patterns are really cool to play. I'm palm muting, and I'm not sure if I've explained it well or not, but hopefully you get the idea that you can make these. Rather than play the scale as a single linear kind of monotonous thing, within the scale you can make these shapes, but then as you go to the next string, you make the same shape, still staying within the scale pattern. It gives you these like kind of shredding licks. I'll give you another basic one. It's actually a bit easier, but it's the concept that I want you to get because I want you to go and make your own scale patterns. Or you might be learning a song and you're like, well, this is just like, someone's just playing and playing and playing and playing, but maybe now you'll go back to some tab that you're learning or something, and go, they're not just playing and playing, it's a scale shape. So this kind of scary blur of notes actually becomes really clear. It's like, that's actually a minor pentatonic scale being shredded in some kind of melodic shape. So it can really kind of open some doors for you. Okay, so here's one for you. I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna play 3 notes, and then the next 3 notes, and just go from the high note to the low note, high note to the low note, high note to the low note on that string, and then jump strings. So it's really important to have that scale underneath your fingers. But then once you understand this concept of melodic patterns, you can do whatever you want with it. The options are limitless, and I hope that you can create some options of your own now. I'll be really happy if that's what happens. I've used the minor pentatonic scale today because it's such an easy scale to teach and to learn, because it's just 2 notes per string and they're all, you know, either 3 frets or 2 frets away from each other. So the minor pentatonic is a really great scale for learning these concepts, but you can apply this to anything like what I call the Spanish scale. And so on. I won't bore you and get too in depth with this lesson because I like to keep them light and easy. Thank you for watching. Thank you for playing the guitar, and I'll see you very, very soon. Ciao.